don't see a lot of angling pressure, you don't see a lot of people, you don't see a lot of nothing. That's what I love about this area. And so you feel like you're on the edge of the earth. A lot of times you might be catching 100 fish or more a day, and that is a nice walleye there. Oh yeah, look at here. A lot of times we're fishing less than 10 feet of water, and it's combat fishing where you're trying to catch as many fish as possible each day. Now, sometimes you have to go down roads, less traveled. We're back up here in northern Manitoba. Every year we try to come up here flying out of Lynn Lake. What I love about it is just the remoteness. You feel like you're on the edge of the earth. You get to see some incredible water. And it's a place where you could take the ugliest lure in your tackle box and just go right down the line and probably catch fish on everything. If you really want to waylay the walleyes, especially just a jig in a soft plastic paddle tail or something similar, and just casting these rocky shorelines, you literally get tired of catching fish. There's a bump. There he is. Nice walleye. Look at that. Look at that.
You want me to get the net?
Yeah, I could probably just grab him by hand. Wow, look at that. Oh,
Ooh.
That is a great fish right there. Just gonna move this tackle box.
Grab that for you.
Lean over here and grab him. Come here. Oh. There. Boy. Fish are just right on that first break, right where you'd expect them to be. And it seems like a lot of times in a lot of these lakes, these fish never do go deep. Summers are short. I think that's what intensifies the bite so much. Is that summers are so short, these fish have to eat like crazy. They just don't have enough time. That's what makes this part of the world such a special place.
I think I got a walleye, Jason.
All right.
It's a big walleye, it's a netter. He really thumped it good.
That's a beautiful fish right there.
All right, we ready for him?
I think so.
I don't know how well I got him hooked, but I got him hooked pretty good, I think. I'm gonna bring him up here.
Look at that. Barely fits in the net. Look at that. That is a great walleye right there. Barbless hooks kind of make it kind of handy to handle fish, but come out of the net easy. But yeah, just a gorgeous walleye right there. Just that yellow, beautiful. Nice work.
There we are.
Great fish. Everything that looks fishy in this country usually has fish on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get another one.
You know, there's just a lot of casting and drifting and or slow trolling. A lot of times we're fishing less than 10 feet of water, and it's pretty simple fishing. Can't go wrong with this, a jig and some type of a soft plastic tail. One of the reasons being is that you only have one single hook to contend with, and so a lot of times you might be catching 100 fish or more a day, and so you just have less chance of accidents if you just unhook the fish easy and get right back into the water. It's combat fishing where you're trying to catch as many fish as possible each day, and so that single hook just speeds up the process.
Oop, there's one. I think this one's going to be a walleye.
Oh yeah, look there. It's amazing how far down in that water you can see. Probably see down 5 feet or so.
Well, let's see if we can just hand grab him here. He's got a real big one.
Well, is that a shore lunch fish?
Yeah, that would be a shore lunch fish for us.
All right.
We'll put him in the live well.
That's the best part about fishing this part of the world, is if you don't catch fish, you don't eat. And so every day we've been eating a few of those walleyes that are that size. That's just perfect. The spot stalker jig that we're using is really popular with the bass crowd, but for a lot of situations I like it for walleye fishing too. You get on fish that are somewhat aggressive, using soft plastics, fishing shallow where there's a lot of snags. For catching a lot of fish in a day, pulling it through rocks. It's just nice having that long shaft and that stout hook. Then just that single strand weed guard is going to keep you out of some trouble. But these soft plastics, you definitely want to use that big wide gap hook. Just that seismic grub. That's just a great way to catch walleyes as well. You know, an important thing to remember too when you're in Canada, like we're at here in northern Manitoba, is you got to pinch the barbs down. And that there is a walleye catching jig right there.
It's a nice walleye.
Oh yeah, look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Well, he's about right size for shore lunch, so maybe we put him in the net.
There we go.
Ooh, came right off.
Look at that fish.
Look at all the
right
minnows
off in the net. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? I just love these coloration. You know, the water temperature is still only 40 degrees, middle of June. You know, and how much further north are you going to see walleyes? 50, 60 miles?
Another maybe 40, 50 miles and that's it. But we're 60 miles north of Lynn Lake, Manitoba up here, so we got a good healthy walleye population.
Yeah, right on the edge, but boy, that's just cool. There's another one. There we go. Now that would be perfect. We're gonna eat that one.
Shore luncher.
I'll hand them to you there. Perfect.
We use, you know, the 1/4 ounce jig in the springtime, maybe a little bit heavier 3/8 ounce later on in the summer for the walleye. And Manitoba up here, we can't use any live bait fish, so what we use are twister tails, grubs, that plastic's, you know, 3-4 inches long. White's a good color, chartreuse, sometimes orange, sometimes browns, stuff with speckles in it. Something that's going to represent like a minnow type of bait fish that the walleyes are going to feed on. And then every once in a while you'll hook maybe a 40, 42 inch pike on your light line fishing for walleyes, and that'll give you a good battle as well. There was a big one right behind him. That's what happens when you're walleye fishing sometimes. Nice old pike grabs it.
Can't complain about that.
The ease of the barbless hook.
They are nice, aren't they?
But I think I got one.
All right. Get out of your way here.
I think we got a nice walleye. Yeah, we're gonna need the net for this one.
All right. Oh yeah. Beautiful brown color.
Ooh, he's not quite done yet. There we go. And there's another one.
Yeah. Yeah, these tails here, I don't know how many fish you can catch in a day on one of these tails, but just that seismic grub. That's just a great way to catch walleyes as well, but yeah, just another gorgeous walleye.
There's another one.
All right, is that right below the boat?
Yep.
All right.
Ooh, it's another nice walleye.
Good, good, good. They're definitely in here. I'll throw my line out here. Kind of a classic spot, 2 islands close together with the wind pushing through. You're just creating a natural funnel for this current.
Yeah, it's bringing bait fish in and stirring it up, and the walleyes are coming in and feeding on these minnows here.
Yeah, just a great looking spot. Oh yeah, look at there. There. Yeah. You can't go wrong following the wind on these lakes. You know, a lot of these lakes aren't necessarily that big, They're hard bottom lakes with a lot of rock on the bottom, and anywhere that wind is blowing, fish the wind-blown side, and that eliminates half the lake right there.
Mohican Lake Lodge is only accessible by floatplane. It's 60 miles north of Lynn Lake, Manitoba. It's the only lodge on the lake, so you got the exclusive fishing all to yourself or your group. You can go one of two packages. You can either do your own cooking, bring your own food in, or we can provide the meals for you like an American plan. It's a cabin that has flush toilet, showers, 2 bathrooms, 6 bedrooms. It's got a big dining, cooking, eating area. You've got 5 boats to fish out of, so you can fish 2 to a boat. This lake is a high quality management lake. You can't keep any walleye over 22 inches. You can't keep any pike over 30 inches. If you want to get a mount made, what we suggest is getting a graphite reproduction. There's one, Jason.
All right, how's he feel?
Feels like a walleye.
All right.
It's just kind of coming slow. It's a nice walleye.
I'll say. Look at that. That white on the tail just glows. That's a beautiful fish.
Here he comes.
There. Boy. Just gorgeous. Look at it, and every fish up here has teeth marks on it. You know what I mean? Isn't that cool?
Yep. Something's been after him.
Yeah. We got him double hooked. Yeah, look at there. Something's been attacking this fish. But that's what's crazy about this part of the world is everything is eating.
Mm-hmm. Mohican Lake is a lake with a lot of islands on it. You can fish about 14 miles of water. It's got northerns, walleyes, and then on a portage lake where a river goes out of the portage lake, there's also Arctic grayling to catch. There's also some good whitefish fishing in here, but most of them are just caught incidentally. And the bait fish in this lake are moon eye, golden eye, whitefish, and suckers. So there's a good forage base for the pike to get as big as they get and the walleyes.
There he is. Come on up here. These fish just fight hard. They eat hard, they fight hard, they play hard. Oh yeah, nice walleye. Look at that, the fish just ate it. Can't even see that. See that jig. There, thank you. Thank you. Come on, slow down here. Grab the hook out here. Wow. That is deep. Yeah, this water just got that nice brown coffee color. Whenever you find that coffee color water, you really can't go wrong with white, chartreuse, gold, yellow. Just something these fish can see. Nice walleye. Or they're just laying right along this trough here. Beautiful fish, huh?
That's a nice one.
All right. Beautiful walleye. Canadian gold right there. There. We'll be eating plenty of them through the course of this week. We'll be releasing plenty of them as well.
Yep. Just a few for shore lunch and the rest can all be let go.
You know, you guys have had a drive-to camp out of Lynn Lake for years, but over time, you've put together quite a few fly-in camps. How did you discover all these different places? I mean, did you just fly into these lakes and test out the fishing? And did you ever check out lakes where the fishing wasn't good? I mean, how long did it take you to figure out all these lakes out up here?
Well, basically we started Lynn Lake Fly In Outpost camps, my wife Lori and I, in 1988. We started looking at lakes up here that were big lakes, big enough to fish to keep people busy for a week. And we flew in and fished them just to make sure the fishing was good, and the pike were there, the walleye were there. Then we started building outpost camps. We finished this Mohican Lake Lodge. We opened this one up in 2009, so it's kind of our latest one.
Pretty incredible. You were probably one of the first people to ever fish some of these lakes.
Yeah, the fishing pressure is very light on these lakes because we only get maybe 20, 30 guys that'll fish the lake the whole summer. We have a short season, is June through basically August, and then it starts getting colder up here and fall starts to happen, and we start our moose hunts. They're just grabbing the tail.
There, I got them. They're moving in. Come on up here. Feels like another nice walleye. Oh yeah, look at there. Whoa.
There we go.
Come on here. There. Beautiful fish. You know, on some of these casts, it feels like we're getting 2 or 3 bites at times too. It's just like you're casting into a into a pack of them.
It's either a decent walleye or it's a slimer.
It looks like a decent walleye. Yeah. Big walleye.
We're gonna need a net for him.
Yep. Yeah, bring him on in here. There, wow. Oh, wow. That's a great fish right there.
Want me to grab him out of there?
All right. Yeah, that's a beautiful fish right there. Excellent.
Oh, give me a little bath. Let's go get another one.
Yeah. You know what's so neat about fishing something like this is it's almost old school in the sense that back in the day,
Yep, there's another one.
we didn't have all this fancy equipment.
They're heating up.
And you come up to a place like this and you learn how to fish again, in the sense that you learn to really get in tune with just the bottom and everything you're doing by what tools you do have, which is feeling what that jig is doing.
That's a short luncher.
Yeah, that's a perfect shore luncher.
Now there's about 18, 20 miles of water to fish. Probably about 50 islands on the lake, and you know, during a week of fishing, there's a lot of it never gets fished.
Most of these fish have never seen a jig before, I bet.
Nope. It's such a big, vast area of water that we're fishing. You probably could never fish the same place twice. If you tried to fish every spot on the lake, you would never touch it in a week.
Incredible. It's cool that there's places that are still like this in the world.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yep.
it's becoming fewer and fewer all the time.
The Manitoba government is very good with just keeping one lodge or one outpost camp per lake. Once you have a lake, nobody else can put a lodge or a cabin on it. So the Manitoba government, with their tourism and their operation, keeps it nice and simple. You don't have competition with lodges or other people coming out on the lake and putting a cabin out here.
I just missed one.
Yep. Another nice walleye.
All right, I'm coming with the net here. Yeah, look at that. There.
There we go. Hey, thanks.
That is a beauty there, huh? That is a beauty, Russ.
Nice fish.
That is a nice fish. Yeah. Fun. We're catching them below the boat, we're catching them casting. We are surrounded by walleye.